Hi, let us understand how to take a container to a different state. Let me start few containers. So I'm going to start the container with the name state -1 and give different port. Let me say 71 and start. The same way, let me start another container with the name state 2 and in the port 72. Let me go ahead and check the containers available. Docker container ls. Yes, both these containers got started and it is up and running. I'm going to start a couple of more containers. Let me name them as state-3 and make it to run in the port 6073. And the last container with the name -4 and in the port 6074. So I should have all these new 4 containers started up and running. Docker container ls-a. So these are all the containers that I started now, and these 3 containers which are not running. Now I can use the command prune to remove all the not required containers. Let me go ahead and run the command. Docker container prune. So it's going to ask for the confirmation. Let me say yes, and it deleted few containers. And let me go ahead and check the containers running. So all the containers which are not running state will get deleted when I'm using the command prune. Now let me go ahead and remove a container. Docker container rm and then the container name. Let me give this specific container which is in the running state. And it will not allow. The reason because it is in the running state. Either I have to stop them and remove it or use the force option. Let me go ahead and use the force option to remove with the flag -f. Now it should get removed. Let me go ahead and list the containers available. That container is gone. Now let me see how to stop a container. Docker container stop. Let me give the container name. The container will get stopped. Let me go ahead and list the containers. Yes, this particular container is in the stop state. Now let me go ahead and remove Docker container rm and then the container name. It will get removed. So we have seen how to list a container and how to use the prune option and remove container and remove using force, as well as how to stop a container and then remove it without the force option. And there are other options available like pause, unpause and restart. Let me go ahead and do them. Let me list the containers available. Let me go ahead and pause a container. Docker container pause and then the container name. So it will get paused. Once the container is paused, it's not going to release the resources, but otherwise it's going to hold those resources. Let me go ahead and stop a container. Docker container stop this specific container. Now let me list all the containers. So these are all the containers available. If you look at the paused container, that is this specific container, it is holding the resource. For example, it's holding this particular port 6072 and get attached to its 80 port. But the container that we stopped, it is not holding the resources. Like this, the other resources also we will be in a position to reuse them in case if we stop it, and we can hold those resources if we do a pause of it. Now let me go ahead and unpause the resources. Let me go ahead and unpause this specific container. Docker container unpause. Now let me go ahead and list the container. Yes, it's back up and running, and if you see the statistics in terms of how much time it is running, it's not reset. So it's just gone into the pause state, in the sense there will not be any request getting served, but it will be holding all the resources. The same way we do have another command called restart. Let me go ahead and restart a container. Docker container restart and then the name of the container. Let me provide this particular container name. It will get restarted. Let me go ahead and list the containers. You see the status, it got reset because we got this particular container restarted. The same way there is another command called kill. Let me go ahead and give the command kill. Docker container kill and then the container name. Yes. So kill is forcefully removing it. It's not going to ask for a confirmation. It's going to remove the container without asking for any confirmation. and there will be a difference in the exit code where it will be having the exit code as 137. So as a part of this lecture, we had seen how to take a container to a different state like pause, unpause, stop, and the difference between stopping as well as pausing it, and how to restart, kill, remove, forcefully removing it, and the difference between killing, removing as well as forcefully removing it, and how to prune the unused containers.